And, you know, no matter what you do, it seems like you're doing wrong. But deep down inside, you understand, no, like, this isn't about right or wrong. Well, today I'm going to tell you a story about the dragon and the angry townfolk, where it's obvious, right? The dragon has so much power. This, if anything, is one of the most obvious things. But even with all that power, how does the dragon not succumb to the fear of the people around it, the people that are even physically smaller in some shape or form, right? This is the message of today. I'm going to link these to the 7 different chakras and how they turn into these 7 deadly sins, okay? And so we're going to link the 7 deadly sins, your root chakra, your sacral chakra, all the way up to the crown, to a word, a keyword that you'll actually understand. And it's just this energy right now with Mars opposite Pluto. There's this awakening of deep internal anger that's asking us to transform from our small selves, from our feeble version, into this powerful and mythical existence, this essence that we have. In order for this to happen, you know, it's almost like we have to allow this dragon within us to awaken. And so to recognize your dragon is a whole different story, but I do have a free PDF that you can actually download. It's a dragon chakra guide, and it's in my bio, it's in my website, so you can download that. I didn't put it in the description yet, but I will. So the key with this dragon within us waking, what's up, Joe? Good to see you in here. This key with this dragon waking with us is to not leave your regal position, to not leave behind your divine and your mystical gifts, your power, to not lower yourself, because it's the understanding that the moment we start looking at things as right and wrong is the moment we lost, because this within itself is already starting to take us away from that crown chakra, and we're starting to act from a prideful reaction, right? And so this is already the crown chakra, right? Pride. When we look at pride, it's about, you know, not feeling like you lost in a situation, not feeling like you didn't do your best, not feeling like you weren't able to show and prove to everyone else around you that you are powerful, that you are the dragon, that if you wanted to, you could just crush them. And it's like, no, it's about more than that, okay? It's about more than that. And at the deepest level, we'll understand what pride at the crown chakra is about. But I'm going to start from the root. So hit the thumbs up and the likes button, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to start from the root. I'm going to look at this here, and I want to bring you through a little narration, okay? So here's the narration, right? This is what we're looking at. In the deep of our soul, there's a battle that is literally brewing right now, right? Like, this is Pluto energy, and it's opposite Mars, this lower entity, this lower feeble thing that's not really truly intimate with itself. And you know, it's this ancient myth within us is actually at an arrival point. It's coming back. It's ready. It's here. And as a part of it, you're going to irritate. You're going to trigger people, and projections upon you will make you believe that, you know, these feelings of wrath and these feelings of envy and these feelings of lust for a desire for a person, for a physical act of pleasure, they're going to be projected on you. They're going to be transmitted as if it's your pain. And we need to understand that in these moments, what you cannot do with the power of the dragon, so much esoteric and ancient vibrancy and immense and tremendous literal power, you can't just crush your enemy, your perceived enemy. This is not going to work. All right, because deep down in your soul, you're going to know that this is wrong. And so instead, what you really want to focus on is never lower yourself to the chaos of the people, right? Don't bring yourself to this meek and feeble presence. You must maintain, like you see on the cover of this regal and divine presence. So Mars opposite Pluto, okay, 2025. It's a story, right? And it's a story of making sure you don't allow the collective to drain your essence. And this is the key, to not allow them to provoke you through reaction. Because again, we said that's going to be the pride, the deadly sin of pride. And what can help you understand, if you download the free Dragon Chakra Guide, all right, you'll understand what these 7s are in written form, and it's very, very simple. Okay, so you have to stay unshakable in this instance. You have to say regal, you have to say divine. So now let's move into the root chakra. Okay, so the root chakra it's a survival mechanism, right? And the root chakra is linked to lust. And so it's like, are we really lusting? And it's not only about sex. Understand that this can be you lusting for an object. It could be obviously for a person. It could be for a sexual encounter. Of course, we know this. But this is this deep, like, I'm willing to get what I want, when I want, how I want it. And it's like, you know, you want to merge with something. And the lust behind this is in such a primitive way that, you know, it's actually not true to your soul. It's true to your lower mind, your reptilian brain, right? And so when we look at this lust situation, if we link this to the townspeople, right? There's this temptation of lust with the townspeople to take from you, to conquer you, to make you feel less than, to consume you somehow, or allow yourself to be consumed, whether in anger, whether in rage, right? And it's at the root of this, of the root chakra. It's literally what you want. Is you want union. These townfolk want to be a part of you, and you, as this higher being, you understand that you want to be a part of them. You don't want this separation, right? Because this is the lowest level of you know, segregation in the world, right? This sense of segregation. What we really want is union. And we have to understand that we are already one on the earth. This is what's important. Like, we don't need to dominate in order to feel like we belong at the basic insecurity levels, right? So this is super, super important. And we're going to move into the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra is linked to greed. And when we, actually, I'm lying. I'm not lying, but I didn't want to go to the sacral. I want to go to the second one, the orange chakra, which is sacral chakra is gluttony. Okay, my bad. So it's gluttony. And this gluttony is like, you can't stop. Whether this is about food, whether this is about power, whether this is about attainment, right? We can't stop. And what we really want, we don't really want to go through gluttony, all right? Whether that's a gluttony of sex, gluttony of food, gluttony of online information, gluttony of spiritual insights, whether it's via my YouTube. Like, you can be gluttonous with this YouTube channel. Like, you can watch so much trying to nourish yourself. And that's the key word. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. The key word to the sacral chakra is nourishment. It's linked to the element of water, okay? If you look at the avatar, he actually links this in the cartoon show. It's water. And water is relationship based, right? Water is what we need to nourish ourselves. I have a plant right here, and guess what it needs? It needs water to look beautiful. Without it, it gets dry. It doesn't have this nourishment. And instead, when it gets water, after a long time of being in the desert, what happens? It has a gluttonous desire for that water. It wants to suck up so much that it might actually kill itself. It might try to drown itself if you allow it. So the key with this, if you look at yourself being the dragon, is that the townfolk with their pitchforks and the fire, they're going to offer distractions, okay? They're going to offer indulgence, right? They're going to offer literally gluttony, and the endless fears is a part of this, like being gluttonous towards their fear itself of you, of your power. The endless fear is a feast on literal emptiness. So we need to understand with the sacral chakra, what is really happening here is there's this desire, there's this knowing that we require and we desire nourishment, right? There's a true pleasure that actually feeds the soul. And what is that? It's not something that can be fed through the mouth, right? This power that we crave, okay? If you take it in gluttonous amounts, I promise you, you're gonna fall into those temptations. You're gonna fall into that indulgence. You're gonna fall for the distractions, right? And so we move on to the solar plexus. Okay, so solar plexus is about greed, and I kind of went here a little earlier. Thank you for hitting those thumbs up. And greed, what we truly want when we look at greed is generosity. We want to be kind. We want to be giving. We want to not just be receptive, but we want to be giving, right? Because when you give, you can receive. And there's this horde of the people, right, with their pitchforks, they're firing, they want to kill the dragon because they want to conquer the dragon from that root chakra that we talked about. There's this horde, and they're clawing, right, for power. They're clawing for coin, for money, for riches, for wealth. They want to take the dragon scales, right, because the dragon scales are valuable. They want to take the dragon's tooth because you can sell this on the market, right? These are the things that we want from the dragon. We want to take the fire of the dragon. We want to harness that. We want it to be our midnight light. We want everything from this powerful mythical being because we're like, look, this is not even of our world. So this greed we take, but instead what we really want, we want to be generous, right? We want to offer that sacred flame to inspire other people, right? This is what we really want. We want to we want to not necessarily be driven by greed, but instead understand that the solar plexus shines brightest when we understand it as a gem, right? The solar plexus is called the city of hidden gems. So those gems are Pluto, right? This Mars opposite Pluto. Pluto right now in Aquarius is the gems is with our connections. It's with our people. Thank you for hitting those thumbs up. I got 6 people watching. Give me 6 thumbs up. The gems is within our connections, within our people, within our aspirations, right? It's within these masses that we want to influence. But opposite Mars, opposite Pluto, we got to make sure we're not trying to influence them only for the performance, only so that we can be praised and gain attention from our lower self. We want to and need to gain this from a place of generosity. This is the other side of Mars and Leo, where it's truly generous. It's generous with itself so it can be generous with others, right? And so the real power is in sharing the fire to ignite other people, but not to steal the fire, right? So it's like the story of Pythagoras with Zeus. I forget his name right now, but he stole the fire from Zeus, and instead his punishment was to be eaten by an ego in his liver, which is literally fire organ, by the way. You ever notice that, with the liver being eaten? But he shared it with the people, and this is ultimately the sacrifice, the consequence, if you will. And so this is what we truly want when we pass greed. But when we move on to greed, as you hit that thumbs up, and I thank you, we look into the heart chakra now. So this is the seven deadly sins of the heart chakra. This is the main portal when we leave the lower body, the reptilian brain, the lower self, and we move into the heart. And the heart chakra is linked to envy. So who in this chat has had somebody envy them and it bothers the hell out of you, right? Like, you got the car, or, you got the YouTube channel, or, you got the job that the person wants and they envy you. You got the lady they want, you got the, whatever it is, like, you drew a painting and they wish they could paint the way you paint, like whatever it is, like that's envy. What is it really linked to? And it's linked to loving other people, something more than yourself, right? So like at the base levels, we have to love ourselves. We have to find that stability within ourselves. But when we get beyond that, we start wanting and craving to love other people. And when you look at these pitchfork people with the dragon and that power that you hold, they're glaring at you, okay? They're envying you. They see something that you have that they don't understand. And that's the key thing right here, something that they don't understand. But it's the kind of theme where, with the heart chakra and the 7 deadly sin, the sin is, the heart knows love. The heart is a frequency. It understands true love at its essence, right? Not fake love, not performative love, not love for attention, not love from the masses, not love from, buying yourself subscribers or buying yourself likes, or buying yourself whatever you think makes you look good. It's the heart understands that that's not true love, right? So it's never going to be satisfied. It's never going to be sufficient. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up and likes button. So instead, when they glare with envy, especially because it's something that they don't understand that the heart, because it knows love, it is able to bless others with gifts that bloom even brighter in the spirit, okay, of compassion. And this is what we really want to give. The spirit of compassion, of generosity, of gentleness, to be able to be gentle with somebody else who is envying you. This will happen with the pitchfork people trying to burn you down, take your wealth, take your power, and drain your essence. But this is how you respond, with the compassion. And then finally, now we're moving into the spirit realms, right? We first get into the throat chakra. And how many of us in this chat have had our voice silenced, whether by a teacher, whether by a parent, whether by a lover, right? Like you were saying something that was so true, you were being so honest, you were being so authentic with yourself that they wanted to silence your voice. How many people have gone through that? Let me know about your experience down in the chat if you care and you feel open to it, and we can dive deeper. So what's happening with the dragon and the pitchfork people, right? Right now they're screaming with wrath. They want to burn them down. They want to hit them with a nuke. They want to hit them with a bomb. They want to hit them with a cannon. It's like whatever can take this thing down. They want to express their rage. And it's like, what's really happening here? There's a venom, okay? There's a poison, and it is literally dripping. There is an injustice happening here. Now, what we may not be understanding is how are the people being unjust to this powerful being who actually is just there in harmony. They're there in spirit. They're there as a gift from source to guide with love, to guide with heart, to guide with compassion, to guide with generosity, to guide in union, right? To guide us towards justice. And wrath, the throat chakra, and the wrath that we face, we don't really want to be enraged and completely blind and blackout angry, whether that's in a drunken state or otherwise. What we really want, we want justice. We want justice for all those times we've been silenced, for all those times we've been suppressed, for all those times that life has seemed like it wouldn't give us, just that we expected. And the message here with the dragon is trying to teach you is justice comes in unexpected ways, right? If you look at the justice card in tarot, it's divine justice, and divine justice doesn't come how you anticipated it. It doesn't come because even if that person, you were to get justice, this person was to go to jail, this person was to get reprimanded, this person was to get a consequence, it wouldn't satisfy you at the deep soul level. It would not. What gives you this sense of justice is by transmitting the pain, the suffering that you've experienced, by being suppressed, by being suffocated. And when you do that, the real blessing here, okay, is that divine justice will give you this thunderous and sacred crack of justice, a sacred crack of truth, the sacred crack not of rage, but of expression. So this is what's happening with me right now. After literally 7 days later, it's like I had my mind, it was thinking, and I'm like, okay, look, like what's really going on here? It's like, wow, I was just being true, I was being real, I was being, my true self. And what happened? They wanted to silence me. They wanted to silence my power. My dragon wanted to drain my essence. But instead, what happened? Transmit this pain. And now I'm still here with you 7 days later with this message. And so we move on to the third eye, okay? And so here's the thing. With the third eye is linked to the 7 deadly sin of sloth. Okay, and so sloth can be often known as laziness, laying down in bed, just not wanting to get up, being uninspired, being unmotivated. However, the other side of sloth is when you can't do that, you get restless. You get so restless that you become overly productive. You understand? Now you don't know rest. Now you can't take a nap. Now you can't chill. Now you can't stop drinking the coffee. Now you can't stop stimulating yourself under one instance or another. Some people won't be, I don't drink coffee, I'm above that. Okay, well, maybe it's sex. How many people in this chat have been at one point in life motivated by that lust, motivated by sex, where it's like, you know what, I get up just because I want to bang somebody, because I don't want to face my problems, whether it's a girl or a male. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up, I appreciate you. And so the thing with sloth is, the town folk, they may, in this instance, with those pitchforks and those fire who want to take out the dragon, drain their power, they may find themselves drifting into sloth, where they drift into ignorance, right? They drift and they refuse to awaken. And this is what the third eye wants us to do, right? As we open that eye and we see with the truth, and before we close it again, this is actually a real technique. If you want to open your third eye, you can literally just open your third eye. And now because I'm online, I'm closing this junk back again because my message has already been clear. I've already came into the awareness of what I'm here to preach. But that's a very quick technique for your third eye, okay? Simple rub. The numerology, you can add numerology into it, so you can rub up 8 times, and you're opening up the gates of Saturn, right? You can rub down 3 times, and you're opening up, you're closing the gates of Jupiter and the wisdom. So you got to play with the numerology. If you want more on that, check out my numerology course. It's on my website, and you can get all of the magics of numerology, as well as the planets involved in it, and etc., etc. So with sloth, the thing is, they refuse to awake. They refuse to awake, and they stay ignorant on purpose, right? Because they say ignorant is bliss. Okay, if I don't know, then I can't really suffer. And it's like, well, trust me, your soul is suffering no matter what. Even if you can shut down your human senses, your soul understands that when you are not walking your path. So when the town folk is trying to ignore you, or they want to not see your truth. They don't want to see your vibrance, your brilliance. Somebody outside of you doesn't want to see your regalness, but you want them to see it, right? Mars opposite Pluto says, I want you to see. I want you to understand. I want you to praise me, right? That's the lower body, this desire that we want. Even if it's secret, even if it's quiet, right? Because the opposite of Pluto is you get the rest. So the thing with sloth, it's like the third eye is something that actually stays vigilant. When you're in your power, thank you for hitting those thumbs up. I appreciate you tremendously. When you're truly in your power and you're seeing through the eyes of peace, sloth really wants peace. So this is the powerful transmutation of this laziness or this overproductivity. We want peace. Okay, so when being overproductive, guess what? You're not at peace. When you're being overly lazy, guess what? You're not at peace, because you have a purpose. You were born for a reason. Like, you didn't come here to just pay your taxes, sleep, and die. That's not why you're here. You weren't born for that. You're a beautiful soul. So wake up to this. Okay, and if you feel that call, you want to wake up, because I feel it right now. Somebody watching, like, if you feel like you want to wake up, you want to work with me one-on-one on a long-term basis, I will help you, without a doubt. Whether you want to come here and retreat in person or whether you want to do this online, it's up to you. But reach out and apply. So the sloth stays vigilant, it sees with peace, it sees with clarity beyond the chaos. So the thing is, like, when a lower being wants to irritate you and trigger you and get you and provoke a reaction out of you, what they need to do is they need to stay stuck and only see from the lens of chaos, because that within itself is the poison. Okay? That within itself is the poison. So we move on to the crown chakra. Okay, this is the last of the 7 deadly sins, and how you can transmute these lower frequencies, which I will cover one more time. And we talked about this a little bit in the beginning as a little hoo-hoo. The crown chakra, this is when the town folk, they want to puff their chest. They want to show that they're strong. They want to say, look, I am powerful. This is the sin of pride. And because we're talking Leo, we're talking pride. Mars and Leo, opposite Pluto and Aquarius, we're talking pride. We want everyone to see we're powerful, because we're talking. But the thing is, Aquarius is about relinquishing this false sense of pride, authority, rulership over somebody else. It's like, you don't rule anybody else. So we move deeper into the crown chakra, pride. What do we really want with pride? Okay, when we tower our ego over everyone else, right? We build, towers that are just like these monoliths of our ego, and it's really sinking us into the quicksand, right? What's happening in these instances? We really want self-love. This is the irony of pride, and this is why Leo, we know it as prideful, we know it as an ego-based energy and sign, but we also know it as one who loves itself tremendously. And this is Mars opposite Pluto and Aquarius. Okay, so what we really, really want, we want self-love. We want to understand that the kind that bows to the divine, the kind that bows to God, the God within you as well. Self-love, the God within you, in his image, her image. Okay? When we do this, we recognize that there are divine in all beings. And this is the crown chakra, right? The crown chakra is about complete and total understanding. So again, I have a free PDF Dragon Chakra guide where you can check these, you can get them all. So do check that. So this is what we really, really want. So when it comes down to it, this is what we must understand. Okay, we must understand that the dragon, at this point, when we get to the crown chakra, when we love ourselves, we see the God within all beings, we see it within ourselves, right? The dragon starts to finally, after staying still in its peace and its sovereignty, it begins to lift its wings. When it lifts wings, you see this halo, you see this bright circular light around it, this aura, and everyone actually, they put their pitchforks down. They put the flames down. They no longer want to crucify you. They no longer want to hate you because they don't understand you. They no longer want to ignore you because they refuse to see you and your brilliance and your regalness and your divinity. So instead, they put their pitchforks down. The mob of people that felt like they were so angry at you, they were expressing their wrath, even if it was misplaced. They were lusting for your power, for your creative abilities, right? And they put their fire down and they bow their heads. Once the dragon does decide, the dragon never attacked. The dragon remained in its power. You're the dragon. You're the one in power. You're the one here to inspire. You're the one to share your warmth, your flame, your sacred fire that inspires. And when you do that, and the dragon lifts and his halo forms around it, like the town people, like I said, they drop their jaws in awe. And they finally surrender. And they understand that you're not here to battle. Okay? Especially not to battle the smallness of other people. That's not your mission. That would get you nowhere. It would only feed the poison. This is the 7 deadly sins and the story of dragon. You are here to embody this sacred dragon right now. You're here to be fierce in your truth and fierce with the peace that you've cultivated. And that's not something you can allow to be taken or shaken, because the dragon remains unshaken. And it's why the angry mob of people who is in front of you, who want to tear you down, who want you to play small, who want you to silence yourself. That's not your mission. When you're rooted in truth, you can be untouched by these lower games of the mind, these low vibrational games of the spirit. You are indestructible. You are unshakable. I want you to say in the chat, I am unshakable. I am unshakable. When you understand this, this is the point, and this is me telling you right now to rise. Rise like that dragon. Okay? Rise like that dragon. The cosmos is calling you. It is trying to fill you with the cosmic codes of power. And you feel that, you resonate with this. I know you do because you're watching. It is trying to fill you with a higher love. It is trying to fill you with a deeper state of being and remind you that you always had that. So you have an opportunity right now to choose the medicine. This is the key. Thank you for hitting those thumbs up. You have the chance to choose the medicine and not the sin, not the seven deadly sins, none of them, and there are more than the seven. But you have the power to choose the medicine, to choose the dragon within you. This is your brilliance, ladies and gentlemen. So I want you to hit the thumbs up and the like button. Download the free Dragon PDF. It's a Dragon chakra guide. It will give you when your chakras are in balance, when your chakras are out of balance, how to balance them. It'll help you understand the energies of these dragons and how they manifest. I only have one video of a dragon on the red chakra so far right now when it comes to your immense power, which is the one linking to the lust. We're not lust that you want, but union, like we talked about it. So thank you for being here. Honestly, I love you. I appreciate you. This was a powerful message for me to share with you, and I'm so grateful. Subscribe if you are brand new. Ciao. Love you. Love you. Rock stars. How do I end this transmission? Okay. Are you sure? Yes.